Hello lovelies, Chrissy here, and today I have a Project Life video for you. Now, I say it every month and I will continue to say it. I absolutely love using the kits to get my Project Life done. It is usually the last thing I do because I like to try and use up as much of my kit as I can, whatever I have left. And I just love that everything is there, ready to go and all coordinated. There's nothing I love more. So I use the printables very heavily, and usually the alphas as well, and any ephemera that is left. And I actually have so much left from this month's kit that I want to keep going with my Project Life until I finish it, because the alpha words that we got are just the perfect size for Project Life, and you will see me use a few of them in this spread, but not nearly enough. So this is week 26. Full disclaimer, I'm not up to week 26, no way. But these are the pictures I wanted to use for this kit. I do go through, for the most part, it doesn't bother me which kit I use for each month, for each weekly spread. But sometimes I do tailor some kits to certain weeks more specifically. So that month we got the stay-at-home collection. I obviously went looking for a week that had more of the COVID-themed pictures from lockdown and when we went in and when we started all of that. And yeah, so in this spread, there's a lot of, even though the theme in some of the papers and embellishments was travel and like the scenic route, I felt that these were still really good. There's a lot of pictures here of the weather and outside, and there's a series of pictures of my youngest when he went out in the boat and caught his first fish. And yeah, sometimes even the colours just inspire me. I look at the photos and see some of the colours and some of the phrases and think of what I can use. The fact that there was a lot of love hearts really helped in this one too, because there's pictures of me and my husband and me and the boys. Yeah, so I do look at the embellishments and the quotes and the phrases and things when I go through and decide what week to work on. So sometimes I don't always work chronologically because I do like to pick photos that suit the layout more. So what I did, I had too many photos, and you'll see that there are a few spaces that have 4x6 spaces that have 3x4 cards, 3x4 photos in them, because I needed the space. And then you'll also see that I only had space for a 3x4 title card, but I really like the 3x4 title card. It works for me. Sometimes I struggle with a 4x6 title card because I feel like I either love my title cards or I hate them. And when I hate them, it's because they're just, I don't know, I just don't make the space work, and that really bothers me. This card I loved. What I did was I actually Frankensteined two cards together. I loved the circle on the plaid card, but I didn't like the plaid pattern, and I liked this pattern, so I just cut it out and stuck it to this one, and then stuck my my week down. So that was pretty cool. This photo here, I just keep layering embellishments because to start with, I wanted to use this heart, and then I think this sticker says better together. And then I noticed that there's like an empty bowl on the lounge behind us, and I wanted to cover it up. So I just keep layering things until it gets covered. It ends up working. I end up putting a heart on top of it, so it works for me. But yeah, it's one of those things where I had all that negative space, and we know how much I love to use the negative space to add stickers and things. This is an example of where I use those tiny alphabet words. These are the perfect size for Project Life. They're so small and the colours are gorgeous, but as you can see, they fit in the negative space of a photo quite well. And yeah, I love embellishing my photos like this. So I've put a label down, and then I've put today under it, and I'm going to add my journaling of how Cooper loves to bake, and that today it's cookies. Or I think it says it's cookies and then today underneath. So yeah, it works really well. I really do love using these. I've mentioned it a fair few times before, but one of my favourite ways to add my journaling is to, write on labels, but also to just write on little strips of cardstock that I've cut up and add my journaling, and then adhere it straight to my photo. And that's something I tend to do often. You'll see me do it a fair bit in this one as well. So what I do is when I cut out the printables, I'm usually left with strips of like very thin strips. So I keep them all in a little Ziploc bag next to my, on my desk on the side, and then I just use those because as you can see, I only use very small strips. But it's just enough that it works for it fits on my photos, and it just works that I can add my journaling. A lot of the time, I don't have space for journaling cards because I take so many photos. So that's how I get around it. I journal straight onto my photos and usually embellish a little cluster around it. This is another area on the photo where I have a lot of negative space. Now, I could crop my photos down to give me, to make it so I don't have a lot of negative space, but I do this intentionally because I really like to embellish my photos a lot. And I use the negative space. So here I've written capture or captured, I think it is, with those alpha words. And then I've just used one of the little tab thingies and it says fun times, and I think I've added a heart. This is a picture that I love. I probably should have added some journaling about what it's about, but I know the story. This is a picture of Cooper and his music therapist via Zoom, and the actions he's doing is she teaches him all sorts of different songs in different languages, and this one is one of my favorites. It's in Japanese, and they sing about certain animals, and they do the actions and make really cute little sounds when they do it. And this is, I think this is the cat, or is this the octopus maybe? Oh, I can't remember. I have to get him to sing it for me again. But yeah, I just love this picture. So, and I love the song. So I just took a picture of that because how cute does he look? And so I've just embellished that. This is where I'm going to document. I am going to journal every now and then when I have space for a journaling card. If I have a few consecutive photos, so it's the two in the top right and then the two surrounding this card, these are all photos that are related. And when that happens and I have the space for a journaling card, I journal about those photos. And so these photos are just my sister and her boys took Will out on the boat. So what happens is my sister picks up Will from school a few days a week while I go out to Cooper's school to pick him up. So they go to different schools, and Cooper's school tends to be about 15-20 minutes away with the border crossing, because it's just over the border. Being on New South Wales-Queensland border, with the border crossing, it takes me a little bit extra time. So she picks up my youngest because her boys go to the same school, and they hang out until I come back or until I get back with Cooper. Every now and then she goes, do you have anything on this afternoon? We're going to go out on the boat. Will's coming with us. I'm like, okay, cool. And these pictures are when he actually caught his first fish. So she sent me lots of Snapchats, lots of photos, and lots of videos of all of this. So that's pretty cool. And I take lots of screenshots when I get Snapchat videos as well. The difference with these photos is while there is some negative space there, I didn't really want to embellish a lot. Like the picture of all of them, their selfie, I was planning on putting a heart there, but in the end I didn't want to because I love the background. It's a beautiful picture and the background really makes that picture as well. So that is a time when I won't actually embellish the photo. I love that photo so much as it is that I'm going to leave it and not embellish it at all. So you will notice every now and then that I'll do that, and that's because I just love the photo so much that I just don't want to do anything to it. This one here, I was going to leave it, but I just love it. This is Will and Jaden, my nephew, just, looking out over the edge of the boat. And it was a beautiful picture. So this just says happiness is here. And then I'm just going to add a few other bits and pieces. Now, the picture up the top here, I did my little cluster, but I didn't put enough journaling on it. So I decided to go back because the story was actually the whole point of taking that photo. That photo is when soccer training and music therapy coincided. So we had to, figure something out on the fly. And what we did was we threw Cooper in the back of the car, in the boot, because I have a Subaru. And he had his own little room in there for music therapy. So I decided to go back and add the journaling to that because I felt that that was really important. But basically, that's it from me. That is the layout, and I hope you have enjoyed my video, and I'll be back with more. Bye for now.